Welcome to Cocos Keeling Island. Isolated in the Indian Ocean, Cocos Keeling Island is an Australian territory and home to a thriving community of only 600 people. Although there are no other people around, another type of community lives right nearby, right beneath the surface of the crystal clear water. Cocos Keeling Island is world-renowned for having one of the most pristine coral reefs on Earth, and comparatively, it is. With no industrial or commercial fishing occurring on this island, the reef has managed to remain relatively intact. But in recent years, we have seen that even the small-scale practices of fishing recreationally and for sustenance can create the destructive effects of overfishing, particularly if it is not being managed. There are currently no regulations on Cocos Keeling to monitor and record the fishing taking place, and because of this, the future for one of the world's most pristine reefs seems bleak. Krista Greer, a master's student at the University of British Columbia, has reconstructed a history of the fishing on Cocos Keeling to evaluate the effects of overfishing.
In terms of coral reef, it's often sort of touted as one of the last pristine coral reefs in the world because it's difficult to get there. There's not a huge population. It's not near any major city, so it's a very intact reef. However, what the study kind of points out is that although it may seem pristine relative to the other reefs in the world, there's actually a lot of extraction that's going on there, and the fact that they're not managing that is a problem.
Overfishing in these reefs leads to consequences beyond affecting a single species. Each species has a role to play, and without it, a negative butterfly effect can occur, affecting the entire ecosystem.
If you have coral reef species, most of them, they provide some sort of ecological function to that reef system. And there's generally a number of different species which contribute to each of those sort of main ecological functions. However, what overfishing does is it often removes some of those species, and so overall that brings down the resilience of the reef.
Overfishing not only puts individual species at risk of local extinction, it also puts the entire reef at a higher risk of being destroyed. It's important to understand that even a small amount of fishing can have drastic effects on a reef's ecosystem. Lower-scale fishing practices, like recreational and sustenance fishing, can still create a problem.
It doesn't matter how little it is that you're taking, it's important, and it has effects, and it doesn't mean that you can't take it, but it means I think that you should try and understand and comprehend that impact.
Through education, there is still a glimpse of hope for Cocos Keeling Island. If overfishing is reduced, the beauty of the reef can be preserved, and both the above and below water communities will flourish for years to come.